Hello everyone! Happy Friday! My name is Marley Swem. I live in Spokane, Washington. I have been a psychiatric nurse for 10 years now. I work for Providence Healthcare. Currently I work in ECT. Prior to this though, I've done a variety of things. I was a float psychiatric nurse for 5 years. I worked from our psychiatric emergency department to the inpatient unit, which was 46 beds, and then I worked on our inpatient adolescent and child unit. Now it's just adolescents, and there was 23 beds there. And then I also worked in some of our other outpatient settings. It's an intensive outpatient treatment, and that is for children. My passion, though, is probably more, I like children, don't get me wrong, but I prefer working with adults. I am currently outside watching my children play, getting my homework done. This is generally how I do homework, is outside on the patio, and just soaking up the sun. I chose to become a psychiatric nurse practitioner for a variety of reasons. Probably the biggest one being that I have seen from working in all these different areas of psychiatry that it is lacking every single day. Our patients come in and try to get seen by a psychiatrist, and they cannot get anybody to follow them. Depending on their insurance, if they have private insurance, they're kind of stuck, and they may be waiting for months on end. So when they're in crisis, what do? They come to the emergency room. What does the emergency room do? We have a psychiatric triage. They go and see them. If they're safe to leave the hospital, then great, we will set them up with a referral thing. Well, in the meantime, they are sent out, and most of the time don't get sent out on medications because they have nobody to follow them. So the system is completely broken, and I find it so frustrating that there are not enough providers for our patients to actually get seen by. Most often, our patients can get seen more quickly by a psychiatric nurse practitioner than a psychiatrist. Some of the psychiatrists in our community are booked out 9 to 12 months. And it's only going to get worse because more in the community are retiring. So, if you have insurance, you may be waiting a long time. In the meantime, you decompensate and do worse. If you have state insurance, you can walk right into what we have as Frontier Behavioral Health here and can get at least started in the process, generally with a counselor first. Then the counselor will refer you to a psychiatrist. Again, it's all, like Richard had said, it's all depending on insurance and what you have and what you don't have and what is set up in the community. So now we have another inpatient hospital here that's a 100-bed unit that has just got up and going recently. That's a joint venture with another hospital over on the west side of the state in Seattle. So our inpatient unit has actually dropped down to 23 beds, and what used to be those other beds is now a psychiatric emergency overflow. So they may not be as risk to be in like an acute care setting, so our ACUs. And again, these people are sitting there and they don't have anybody seeing them besides telepsychiatry and or one of our psychiatrists will round. Regardless, it's not consistent. So ultimately, I would like to be able to go and provide this kind of care for these patients because I find that consistency and compassion goes so far in these patients. And again, I've rambled on here. It goes by so fast. But again, one of the reasons in my philosophy in nursing is to work for somewhere that has the mission behind it that truly cares of the individuals. And I find that these individuals came to the hospital or an emergency room to quickly get care. And if they can't get care quickly, what's going to happen? They just unravel. So I enjoy working for a Catholic organization that provides this kind of care to these patients. And again, regardless of where they've come from, they could be staying in our emergency room for a long time. However, that's not exactly ideal, but at least nobody is turned away. So, shoot, I'm already out of my time. Anyways, my philosophy is mainly I want to be caring for patients as I would want to be cared for as if I were in their situations. So, I better wrap it up. I'm sure we'll have more opportunities to share, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.